Hello, welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome back if you have. My intention is oneness, love, light, unity. This is going to be a little bit different of a video today. I will be going into some flow. I might separate that into a second video, so apologies if I don't make it there. I'm trying to do things in smaller increments. I'm going to talk a little bit about why I've been doing videos with other sisters and brothers. I'm going to talk a little bit about the energies that I've been feeling to share with you guys, and a little bit of a New Year's, so to speak, introduction about my intentions going into this new year. But I want to talk a little bit about the whole year thing. So I'll just back up and say a big thank you to my sister, who doesn't really watch these videos, but she got me this shirt. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's the worm from the Labyrinth. It's pretty awesome. So thank you. It's my favorite scene in the whole movie. It's officially, according to my husband, the ugliest t-shirt he's ever seen. So I'm pretty excited about it. So I've been feeling particularly goofy. I just keep getting goofier and goofier. That's one of the biggest messages that comes through from my guides lately, is just play and have fun. And when I'm not playing and having fun, I feel off. I feel stagnant. I feel run down and tired. And so I guess I'll just go into a little bit about what I've been feeling with the energies. For me, there is no normal. It used to be we would go through some things and then we could get back to normal. There is no such thing for me. And everything that I share with you guys is always from my own perspective, or what I'm seeing in the collective, whether it be through other brothers and sisters that I talk with, or just seeing and feeling through my own intuitive guidance and intuition. And so a lot of us are more sensitive to when we have eclipses and new moons and full moons, especially if you're a female with the whole moon cycle thing. That can increase ascension symptoms or make them feel increased. For the Schumann resonance and the solar flares and all of that, that can shift. I also want to bring awareness that everything's connected, and the what as above, so below. So all the changes that we're going through in our own body, going from this carbon base to more crystalline, is also happening on the earth. So everything from what I'm seeing intuitively are the ley lines, the volcanic activity, seismic activity, magnetic anomalies. It's all happening with Mother Earth as well. And so we're picking up on that because we are connected. We go through changes, she goes through changes. She goes through changes, we go through changes. We are not separate. Everything is connected. And as above, so below, as within, so without, it's also cosmic. So it's when we go through this ascension, Earth goes through this ascension, we're in a symbiotic exchange and relationship, and this also ripples out into the universe, the galaxy, the cosmos, infinite. So that's just something to recognize, that this is happening across the board. It's not just happening to you, or just happening to me, or just happening to those of us that are awake. It's happening to everyone. So that's something that I wanted to just kind of point out. And for me, 2019 and 2020 have just seamlessly morphed. It didn't feel like there was some big shift in the new year. I feel like it's been 2020 for a while. And it's all very exciting for me. I am excited about the next few months. And one of the things that I've finally begun to accept, and acceptance, of course, has been the theme that I've been kind of mentioning in many of the videos that I've done over the past year, as well as non-judgment, being in coherence, being in the higher heart, but also recognizing that nothing is the same. So it's like that Talking Head song, right? Same as it ever was, same as it ever was. Bottom line is that it is the same, but it's totally different and nothing's the same. So I wake up and I feel different every day, but I'm still me. So it's a very interesting shift. My relationships change every day and how I communicate changes every day. And that's something that I've recognized is accepting that nothing stays the same. So once we start to get used to something, it's used, it's done. It doesn't necessarily stay that way. And so that's something I want to share, that for a lot of people who feel like they need that control, what's going to happen next? Where am I going to land? How am I going to land? Who am I? That can be challenging to let go of that need to know, because it just shows up, it unfolds. Rather than who am I based on my past experiences, or this is who I am that I am. I am unfoldment. I am unfolding. I am, 5 minutes from now, different than who I am right now in this moment. And I'm okay with that, because in 5 minutes I'll have something else happen, or some other picture will come into my view. A butterfly could fly by and create a whole chain of thoughts or feelings that I didn't have 5 minutes prior to that. And that's literally how big, yet how micro, I guess macro, micro, this is unfolding for me personally. And it's being aware of that. I think Jason Estes and Todd Medina, if I'm saying his last name right, apologies Todd if I'm not, on Soulogy Studios or Soulogy One Studios, and on YouTube has a really great video. I can't remember which one. It's one of the last two. I haven't watched them all. But macro to micro, micro to macro, and I definitely feel what he's talking about. It's like sometimes I'm out here and I'm having these cosmic awareness, and other times I'm, having this weird heat going on in my right arch of my foot. And it's like, and that's just one piece of what he's referring to. But sometimes we're going to feel like we're expanding out, and then we're going to feel like we're expanding in. And I don't know that necessarily this is what he was referring to, but this is how I see it. I'm feeling that. So that's a good video. I recommend that if you haven't watched those videos yet. I've also been guided to share with other sisters and brothers, and I have posted 3 videos or 4 videos, maybe more, 5, I can't remember now, thus far, with other light workers that I felt guided to work with. And I want to back up, because when I started doing these videos about a year ago, if you've watched my videos before, you will see how much I've shifted and changed. When I first started doing these videos, my guidance team was like, you need to do this. And I was joking with Sheldon that I'm like this, dragging my nails, like, no, I'm not ready. And sometimes it feels like we're never ready. But what are we waiting for? And that's the other message that's coming through. What are we waiting for? If we're waiting for perfection, we're already there, because every moment that is unfolding in front of us is the perfect moment. And I say that because I was in my heart when I started doing these videos, and I knew with my highest intention of goodness and love and expansiveness that what I had to share was true for me, and that other people may feel inspired or may feel good listening to what I had to share. And in the beginning, it was primarily light language and just tips that I was being guided to share. And that's kind of still what I'm doing as well. But my point is, it's morphed for me. And there was this aspect of me that wanted to hang on to the 20 different light languages that were coming through, or 10, I don't really remember. I wanted to hang on to the way that I was receiving them. And one of the biggest lessons for me is that it always is changing. and to accept that and be right where we are, and be in that acceptance with the idea that there's still more to unfold, and what was shared was meant to be shared at that time, and now maybe it's now not as important for what's being shared right now. So my point is, I was guided. I've done sessions, hundreds of sessions with people that are co-creative, co-collaborative sessions, talking about ascension, and many things happen. And I was guided when I first started working with beautiful star sisters and brothers that let me go back. I was asked by my guides to post those sessions. I never did, because a lot of times when you're doing work with another person and you're having moments, it can be very emotional and very personal. So I haven't shared those sessions on YouTube, but what I was guided to do was to share in our interaction. And that's why I posted the video recently with Sheldon and Candace and Jess. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I'll be doing a lot more. The reason I've been guided to do this is when I work with someone, most of the time, first of all, I always learn something. I always learn something about myself. So it isn't like I am doing the work. And that's how it is across the board. The message is that we're all healers. We're all healed. We're all going through this process of expansion, is really what it's about. My intention is to assist others in their own expansion by me expressing myself in my own expansion. And that's how the sessions work. And so these interactions that I've been sharing with you guys is because I'd have these conversations, and I still have conversations all the time, that just blow my mind. And I'm recognizing that this person is here for me just as much as I'm here for them. And this person has so much to share with the world. And if I can assist in their journey and them sharing their journey with you guys and whoever's tuning into my channel, our channel, right, then that's what I'm going to do. So I've been dragging my feet. I finally did it. I'm really excited about those videos, and I'll be doing more. I'm primarily only doing them with people that I have worked with, that I do know, that I resonate with, and that I know we're on the same page, so to speak, which is love and light, multidimensional, non-judgment, no fear. And that's kind of where this is unfolding for me for 2020. It's kind of my vision. My friend Candace, who I've did a video, she was one of the first people that I worked with doing this video share, was calling me a facilitator. And I think that's a great word for what I feel right now. I feel like I'm facilitating a platform for people to connect on and share. And this is a sharing. This is an energy exchange. And I just wanted to kind of put that out there to talk about this coming few months. Okay, so I'm at 1331. So I'm going to go into a little bit of flow, some messages coming through, and we'll go from there. I know there's more. I just want to make sure I squeeze a little bit in. Apologies on not, answering all questions or emails. I do what I can, and sometimes emails do fall between the cracks. Sometimes comments on YouTube, I don't see them until 3 or 4 months later. Sometimes I don't see them at all. Sometimes my emails, I have, 4 different email accounts, so it gets a little backed up. And so if I don't answer, it's just because I've got a lot of things going on, and I'll do my best to answer who and what and when I can. So I honor you guys, though, for putting questions. And again, sometimes we'll have a question and it will get answered indirectly through a video or through a synchronicity. And that's something else to keep in mind. When you put a question out to me, you're putting it out to the universe. And so be aware that that question will get answered. It may not get answered by me, but it might get answered by something that shows up for you, either through another video or another facilitator of this energy sharing. So thank you guys. I wanted to just go into the little message that's coming through. Also, last but not least, the writing. So I keep saying I'm going to update my blog, and I just keep updating it on Instagram. I will update the blog. But the writings that I share oftentimes are in code, and sometimes they're very clear and very easy to understand, and other times they're not. And sometimes somebody might read it and it makes sense, and other times it doesn't. It's not necessarily going to be the same person that is drawn to the writings all the time. And I'm sharing this with you guys because what the message that's coming through is it's important to recognize not everybody learns the same way from the same teacher. So that's another reason I'm sharing these videos, is because I recognize that I have shared this work for a year now, and I do have people that are watching and sharing in this energy exchange. And if I can bring more to this group and more to the table, the round table, so to speak, then why not, right? And maybe somebody will watch, maybe that wouldn't respond to the light language that I share, but they hear me talking with another light worker, and they respond to that light worker and begin to connect with that person as well. So this is just growing and expanding, I think, for all of us. And we're just being given more and more tools to use every day in our journey to continue in that expansive connection. All right. So I invite you to take a deep breath in. And a long exhale. Get comfortable in my seat. As a gentle reminder, this is meant to be felt, not necessarily understood. Doya e kukuwe eshtiana hekia. Do no kuwe anehea. Ya hana kukuwe anehea. Do kukuwe ana. Do wawe e aha e nekia uwa heana. We here and here kian here ya et east out away and here Kuyan and hon koya away and east and focusing on the breath. This is just some healing energy coming through, and this is just energy that we're moving around. Healing is just a way to describe something for me that is activating, uplifting, opening, expansive. Kuya ne heat uakwestia iana hek ia tua weana tua weama kukua weana he uawa eana hak ea uawa hea yahana dua weana ak aheat yaha uawa ia yaha enda ha ekia hawa kua wene estia. Kiat eak ua kua waena. Doeam und hiak ua wahena. Kiane anai dua weat eak ua kua waena iamak ua wehene. Kiana no kua weana. Doeane hestian the heak ua we. We expand into your field as you expand into ours. This is a play on words. I'm seeing hours as well, like time. Hours are expanding, time is growing, time doesn't exist. So for us, we're able to increase time. This also has to do with resiliency and our lifespan. So Koea nea kukuea ya hiastea kukuea na ya hana kuawe istea te kiena uaweak ia an ia wawahenishtian de kukua. Our communication expands. Our forms of communication are expanding. For you are all activating into different time zones, so to speak, time networks, or should we say communication call portals that are activating you into higher potential timelines. What you see as expression is shifting. For our expression is they're showing me that it's infinite. Like there's so many ways that the communication with source, our guides, angels, elementals, it can be done in so many ways that we aren't even aware of. As we wake up within this expansive realization, we connect a network that was previously disconnected or misguided, or they're showing me like it had been cut off, basically. Excitement is building, for this has been a long time coming. You feel the intensity and pressure within the body as if you are preparing for something and you are not sure what it is or what it exists of. And they're referring to some of you. They're really referring to me when I say this. Trust in your cells, in your smart car, in your smart biology, for it knows what it is doing, for it is an intelligent source of conductivity, we have the biology of they're just showing me that the cells in the body are smart, and we are in constant communication with our cellular advancement. So the more they're showing me that the more we entrain ourselves to be in a space. So what they're saying is a lot of the messages that have been coming through about letting go and being in love is also so important for the body. Because if we're telling our body or we're telling ourselves that something's wrong, we must be sick, we must be this, we must be that. It is a lot about what Bruce Lipton talks about, the biology of belief. What the guides are showing is that it is true. What we tell our bodies becomes our truth, but our body is a smart, innate sense It runs on harmonics. So if we can allow ourselves to be in a space of allowing our body to do what it needs to do and to assist it by, they're showing me like giving it what it needs, lots of water, which has been one of my biggest things. I've not drank any water this morning, so good reminder that it's working. So let it work. Don't try to push a bunch of, I touched on this briefly in the video that Sheldon and I did recently. I didn't post it, we did 2 videos about sometimes we go to the doctor and the doctor doesn't know what's wrong with us, so they give us medicine. And this medicine is not assisting us necessarily. It can be assisting us, and there is a time and a place for some people to take medicine if that's what they feel they need to do. Notice that I say that because it's different for everyone from my perspective. But essentially, many people, when I do energy work with people who have taken a lot of medication or drink a lot of alcohol or have done drugs, it literally feels toxic. It feels like a buildup in the body. And so that's why it is so important to do what the body needs to do and not cover it up with a bunch of Band-Aids that essentially isn't assisting in the body talk, is what they're saying. So our body is talking to us. Are we listening? We have anxiety. Does that mean we should always be having a martini every day to help decrease that anxiety? Is that really going to decrease our anxiety? For example, because sometimes this anxiety that comes up, they're showing me Lamaze. Breathing through it can be more powerful than drinking, 2 or 3 cocktails to overcome being the key word. It isn't about overcoming something. It isn't about pushing it down and ignoring it, although sometimes that's what some people need to do or feel they need to do. But what they're showing me is that if we work in conjunction with what our body is telling us, it will assist us in transmuting and integrating faster. The energy that we offer, and they're referring to all of our guides, so not just my guidance team and who I'm working with, but your guidance team as well. These beings that are assisting us. The energy that we offer is not just skin deep. It is a multidimensional sharing, a frequency exchange that hones in on the particular vibrations that are out of attunement, out of alignment, that are not playing, basically. So they're showing me like a string instrument all bent, and they're kind of assisting in pulling that back in and lining it up. And we're being offered this a lot. Many of us just don't recognize it or realize it. And that's why getting massage can help, acupuncture, Reiki, these videos, going and having like a water therapy or sound healing, any of that can be of a greater assistance, especially right now, because we are tuning into a higher dimensional, less density space. And so whatever density is stuck there, the more we can kind of help it move along, move through our system, the better, of course, we'll feel. Faster will feel better, is what they're saying. And this, of course, is a reference to also mental, talking about it with the right people or someone that you feel guided to talk with, journaling, art, dance, movement, all of this. And this is what all of the teachers basically say are important right now. They're they're showing me how sound is a wave and we are a wave. And so it's like sound can be very powerful. So again, they're pulling this in with be aware of what we're telling our bodies, be aware of what we're telling ourselves, our cells, be aware of what we're listening to and buying into. Again, so this is our value system. If we are listening to, I've talked about this a lot, but they're using this as an example. If we are tuning into a station that is out of tune with where we want to be or where we want to go, then that is obviously not going to help us. And I know that sounds very common sense, but they're showing me that, and we all know, we've all done it before. We see others that do it. Someone who really is going through a lot, they're stressed all the time, and they tend to watch the news every single morning. What is it? They say that if it's not working and you keep doing the same thing over again, that's insanity, right? And they're showing that it's time for a lot of people to switch the game up. Stop playing in that old game. And many of us watch, if you're watching this video, you probably are already making those changes and shifts. But I know I suggest it all the time, like if you're feeling tense and you're having trouble sleeping, it might be a good idea to not watch that, horror movie right before you go to sleep, which I used to do all the time. It might be a good idea if you're worried about what's happening in the world and you're in a state of fear about the president, about the earth changes, about the whatever, fill in the blanks. Obviously, I'm in the United States, but it might be the fill in the blanks. I don't even want to go there because it doesn't matter. Everybody has a fear about something, and most of us are stimulated. That fear is stimulated by the media. So if that's the case, what they're sharing is when we watch the media, when we watch and listen to things that are stirring the pot, it is stirring up our cortisol and our body. What happens is then we tell our body that we're in a fight response. We're not in a relaxed state. We're not in a relaxed space of being. And if we have other stresses going on in our lives, some of us have loved ones who are very sick. And then on top of it, we're doing things that make us feel not so good, whether it be toxifying our body. That toxification can come from, again, fill in the blanks. So maybe don't do it. Do I need to know what comment was made by a particular politician or world leader every day and every moment? I don't. Does that